Welcome back to Offices and Owlbears. As you'll soon see, or perhaps already can see, there are not a lot of us this evening. True to our name, Offices and Owlbears, three of our group members are stuck in the office, burning that midnight oil, working hard for their money. But we have an exciting adventure planned for this evening. Where we last left off, the new group of adventurers who had found their way into the town of Sutton for a funeral set off in search of answers. What kind of answers, they weren't sure yet, but while camped on the side of the road, had an encounter with a strange creature, part owl, part bear. One could even say an owl bear. But this party, a new group of friends, left for the night, settled in, and interestingly enough, one other member who also received this mysterious telepathic message from Alden Errol, the wizard who was found dead in the town of Sutton, was held up on the way to town. This message that had burned so brightly in his mind 2 weeks ago. In these brief lives we live, it would be a shame to deny oneself the company of an old friend. Be in Sutton on the morning of the last day of immuration, not after, not before. Come to Stray Port. This new adventurer, who we'll soon meet, got held up along the way. We find ourselves in the town of Demeshhold, a very foreboding town on the way to Sutton. A town which was built as kind of a stalwart against a necromancer some years past. In the center of town is a large black castle. Off in the distance in the Broom Hills, a never-ending torrent of rain, lightning, thunder rages in the distance. Strangely enough, it almost never reaches Demeshhold, but the people of this small village live in a perpetual state of its impending arrival. And that's where we find our next adventurer, Corbin Fallenwoods. We start in a very small tavern on the edge of Demeshhold, where Corbin has spent the night. You awaken the morning after your arrival, looking for food, just a way to keep your journey going into Sutton, when a man comes in through the front door. My goodness, this can't be happening again. I need help. He scurries up to the tavern keeper. He has a short conversation. The tavern keeper kind of points off in the direction of another young man in the corner. A man resting his eyes after a long night of singing, merrymaking, and sends him looking for what may be help for his issue. Sir, I was told you may be able to help.
Oh, I'm done performing for the night, but maybe one more song after I finish my drink here.
Well, no, I'm not looking for a performance. Excuse me. How could I be so forgetful? My name is Glowkindle.
Lokindo, Brendo, nice to meet you.
Oh, our names are quite similar.
There might be some kinship in our histories. I don't think that's how it works, though.
The tavern keeper told me that you may be able to help. I run a small brewery outside the city, and I'm not able to even go into my cellars. We have a bit of a problem.
Overhearing the conversation, I walk up. Are you all right, sir? You seem to be in distress.
Oh, my small brewery is overrun with rats, but not just any rats. Rats the size of dogs, and not small dogs either. I'm talking like big dogs. I'm looking for people to help, but no one seems to be able to or want to or.
Rats the size of dogs. That sounds like quite the problem.
Is there an exterminator in the town?
Well, that's why I'm here. The tavern keeper and I, we've done business together, and I'm not able to get him any product because I can't even get into my cellars, and what a mess. This was my first stop. He pointed me over here, and I don't know what to do. I have gold. I don't know.
What's the tavern keeper's name?
His name is Nyx Raster.
Okay. Sorry, I was gonna say something, but the gold just stopped me from saying it. Gold, you say?
Yes, I don't have much. I haven't been able to peddle any of my ale for some time, but I could possibly pay 10 gold apiece.
I look over at what did you say your name was?
Corbin.
Corbin.
And yourself, fine Bart.
Brendel Hearns. Well, it's kind of meet you. I mean, 10 gold apiece for killing some mice. That's not a bad deal.
I know it's morning and there aren't many people in here, but just looking at the two of you, you look like you've seen your share of adventure in the past. I just don't know where else to turn. I don't know if you're familiar with Demeshhold, but there's not many preserve here, and there's just nowhere else to go.
You seem quite distraught. I mean,
we've got to keep the ale flowing. Seems like this is the only chance.
And I assume there's some free ale in it for us.
Oh yes, of course. My staff and I have locked them in the cellar for the time being. I'm terrified to even open the doors, but the common room is still okay for the time being, and of course a free ale would be, I have limited supply right now, but what I have, you're welcome to.
What do you say there, Corbin? Should we go kill a few mice and...
Well, I don't know if I call them mice, but...
It seems like we're the men for the job.
Well, there you have it. You've got yourself some mice traps.
Let me just go tell Nyx the good news. I'm sure he'll be thrilled that some of this summer ale will be flowing back here again. He wanders off and has
You tripped.
Yes, there's a massive fall as I make my way back up to Nyx, but he goes over and speaks for a few minutes to Nyx, comes back over. Oh, well, is there anything else you need? I'm not much of an adventurer myself, but do you have weapons, or how does this work?
I've got what I need. I can't speak for my friend over here.
A giant flaming magic sword would be wonderful.
Oh, well, yes, that would be nice, but sadly, I just have the ale.
Oh, well, okay then. Ale should do it, and maybe directions to your brewery would help.
Oh, follow me. It's just a mile or so outside of town.
All right.
I'll follow the fella.
Me as well.
On the way outside of Dimesh Hold to the Wizard's Tower Brewing Company, he turns to the two of you and tell me, what brought you into Dimesh Hold in the first place? I'm thrilled that you were even there, but it's not really a place that sees a lot of visitors.
Well, as for me, I'm just a traveling performer, it's just another stop on the road.
Oh, a bard, I see. Well,
I
know Nix has trouble finding those, so I'm sure he's appreciative.
Well, somewhat.
I see, yes, he was always kind of a miser when it came with the coin.
This is true, yes.
But perhaps I could talk him into a free night if we get some ale flowing there again.
Well, this mouse trip is the trip that keeps on giving.
That seems to be.
So,
As,
how about you? What brings you into Dimesh Hold?
as for me, I'm just passing through as well. I'm on my way to Sutton to a rendezvous with an old friend of mine.
Oh, I see. Well, companionship is nice, especially in these dark days. As I said, it was such a joy to run into at least two that were willing to come. My staff and I refuse to go down. We're not much of the violent sort.
Well, I've been known to crack a few eggs.
Yes, I see.
All right then.
As you continue walking, eventually you come to what appears to be this brewing company's namesake, a large spiral tower. Well, here it is. It's a little more extravagant than you might expect out of a local brewery, but we repurposed it after the previous occupants vacated it for unknown reasons. But the Wizard's Tower Brewing Company.
I take in this, what I assume is a large, tall tower,
It's decent size, yeah.
and I'm impressed.
Well, please follow me inside. As I said, however much ale you want, of course. Maybe don't get drunk, but I won't tell you how to live your lives. I'm just so thrilled that you're here.
May I ask what the best brew the Wizard's Tower Brewing Company has got is?
Yes. Well, we actually have a hoppy summer ale. We call it the Eldridge Smite. I know it's a little bit of a different name, but it's brewed with triple the amount of hops that you would find in your standard ale, and it's one of our specialties.
We'll keep a lookout for it.
Let's try some after we take care of these rats.
Oh yes, well, here, let me pour you a small glass ahead of time. He goes to the tap, pours out just a half tankard each, and then sets it in front of you. Now, I have to tell you, late last night
As he's talking, I drink the whole half tankard.
Thirsty. Yes. Well, what did you think?
Not bad at all.
Yes.
Quite smiteful indeed.
Yes, it's one of our passions to brew this particular flavor, but yes, I'm glad you like it. Yes, as I was saying, we were in the cellar last night, and we, for some reason or another, moved some casks that had been part of the wall kind of nicked away. There was a small hole, but kind of peering through, we saw that there was a much larger space than we expected on the other side. My staff started clearing out a little bit more of this wall, and suddenly one of them was attacked by what I thought was a giant dog at the time. But as I ran for my life upstairs, I noticed as I looked back that it had a rat's tail, a rat's body, and I was delirious with fright, but I think it was a giant rat.
Sounds like my ex-wife. I look and laugh at everyone.
Laugh awkwardly.
Yeah, I laugh boisterously.
Yes, well,
Yes, I'm sure.
I've never been married myself, but it sounds like it's not for me. But yes, that staff member that was attacked did get away, and corroborated what I saw. Of course, he's upstairs resting at the moment, being treated for some of his wounds, but...
Wounds? These
For
are
rats?
aggressive rats.
yes, he was petrified. I have no idea how many are down there, but I wish you the best of luck.
As you kind of say that ominously, I'm kind of feeling a little sheepish, and I look at the bottom of my glass and drink whatever is left in there.
Of course, there'll be plenty more once you return. But I'm afraid.
You said if we return.
Well, I'm
Or-
assuming you will.
And I put my glass down after I do an anime scare.
Do you have any songs to boost the mood, Bard?
It was their last march into the doom.
I can see
It
your...
was. I sing a song that reflects my feeling that I'm starting to get as I see this impending.
Well, that's quite the baleful dirge. But as I said, you two look plenty strong, and I'm sure you'll be back in no time. So,
Well, all right.
if you're ready,
It's time to take this last march.
Here we go.
yes. Well, and he leads you over to the cellar. I will be shutting this behind you. If any get out, I can't say that I would last very long, but do be careful.
Well, how long did you last with the ex-wife?
Well, I'm not long, but I'm starting to wish I was back trying to make it last longer.
He opens the door to the cellar. Do you have minis, by the way?
I do not.
Have what?
Minis.
Go ahead and grab those. As he leads you into the cellar, you notice what looks like your average brewery cellar, exactly as he described. And as you kind of wait on the top of the landing, and as your eyes adjust to the darkness, you start to see shapes scurrying on the ground.
How big are the shapes?
Roll a perception check.
18.
Do you have dark vision, by the way?
I do not think I do.
You can't see much, but what you can see,
I do.
they look to be about the size of perhaps a large badger, or maybe even a small dog. Not quite as big as what you expected, but definitely bigger than your average rat.
Mother. God, that's a big rat.
I guess we're gonna have to go and put them down.
With that, I say, all right, as I eye the ales longingly. I gotta. You take the lead here.
I'm gonna start marching towards the thing and draw my sword.
All right, roll initiative. This will go forward, and that one might be very good.
5. I guess
11 or 10.
I guess a 9.
As these rats take notice of your presence, they begin circling, getting closer, closer, almost encompassing you. Corbin, what do you do?
I swing at the closest rat.
Roll and attack it.
10 to hit.
That does not hit. As you swing this giant sword, the rats prove much more agile than you expected and quickly hop out of the way. Can you turn it down just a little bit? It should be one of those.
Yeah, I don't see any buttons. But
Yeah.
Can
It's
it
like
go down from the computer?
no, because it's plugged in. It's a touch screen. Yeah. The rat quickly jumps out of the way.
Well, quite the rats indeed.
Holy.
And it launches its own attack on you for a 9 to hit.
Does not hit.
As the rat lunges toward you, you also step out of the way, proving much more quick than it expected. The next rat comes to you.
Feisty little fellas.
The next rat comes to you and launches a biting attack for an 8.
That does not hit.
You also are able to jump out of the way.
Mother! So they're like how far away right now from us? Just right in front of us, 5 feet.
Yeah, they're right next to you. Minus whatever you did to jump out of the way.
If I do something that's in a 10-foot radius, I can do it from a point of my choice. So can I do it behind them so it only hits them and not us? If it's something I
Yes.
can control the point of.
Yes.
Okay, so I use Shatter.
Okay.
And I use it, it's a 10-foot radius, so I do it behind them so it hits them and not us. Sudden loud ringing noise painfully erupts. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
The creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much.
Okay.
Successful.
What is the save?
14.
So let's see. Okay, first one fails. This dice. They both fail. So roll damage.
Okay. So that's 19 damage.
Okay.
I don't know, do I roll twice or just roll once for the spell?
Roll twice, and then the 19 will kill one, and then roll damage a second time.
Okay. Nine.
With that, both rats explode in a mix of blood, fur, electricity,
Well, that wasn't very
Just-
clean.
as 2 more scurry through the wall.
Damn, I don't have many more of those in me. I see.
Corbin, back to you.
I'm gonna swing my I'm gonna get up close to one,
Okay.
come forward, and swing my greatsword at that closer one.
Okay.
Nat 1.
As you swing your greatsword, you kind of, I don't know if it's from the little bit of ale you had, perhaps it was on an empty stomach, but it kind of slips out of your hand. You overcorrect and miss widely.
Well, this is quite embarrassing. As a bonus action, I take a defensive stance at the end of my turn.
Okay. The next rat is going to come back to you. And it's going to be a 12.
That hits.
Okay. So, as it lunges towards you, it kind of locks on to a shin.
Oh, God.
And that will be 3 piercing
Okay.
damage.
I also do, I don't know when I do this, use Bardic Inspiration on him.
Oh, okay. Save it for the next turn. If you're going to, are you going to do it on this turn?
Well, so apparently he gets it for 10 minutes.
Did you? But you didn't already, because you have to inspire him.
Yeah, I should have inspired him right at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah. Whenever, as soon as I can get it on him, I'll get it on him.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah. And the next rat is going to also come toward Corbin. That's going to be a 10 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay. That's going to be 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
As both of these rats kind of lock onto you.
I am going to.
Where is your armor?
Yeah, I don't think I have armor.
I am going to. Oh, man, if I use Thunderclap, that hits him as well, right?
Because he's within 5 feet, probably.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on the one on his left.
Okay.
And oh wait, Fairy Fire's multiple people?
I thought it was just one.
Each object in a 20-foot... Wait, am I reading the wrong thing? Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet, your choice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails a dexterity saving throw, the duration, any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if...
Yeah, so the range is 60 feet, so
So it's
any creature in the area.
Okay, so they're Fairy Fired, and then I use my bonus action to do Healing Word
Okay.
on him.
Okay. What is that, like a D4?
1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
So that would be modifier plus 4. So 1d4 plus 8. Or plus 4.
1d4 plus 4.
Okay, I'm fully healed.
I forgot how much damage you took, but
7.
As the rats lock onto you, you see their silhouettes start to light up in some kind of arcane ability. And
I hope
feel,
that's you. Oh, that's me, all right.
Some type of reinvigoration into your body. Back to you.
Alright, I'm gonna swing.
Let him have it.
Alright, 21 to hit.
Yeah. That will obliterate them.
Okay.
And you can add a 1d6 onto all of your attacks now, if you want.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. I mean, 14.
Okay. As you...
Oh wait, can they only use it once, Bardic Inspiration? Or can they use it just every time they attack?
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay,
They can use it.
okay.
They can use it. As you swing your sword down into this rat, you practically cleave it in two.
Like butter, just gotta hit.
With
That's
that,
what I'm talking about.
the last rat attached to you is going to scurry back.
I'm gonna opportunity attack, and because of my defensive stance, I can actually make 2 opportunity attacks.
All right.
First one is a 14 to hit.
14 does hit.
I'm just gonna roll on it because I think I'm gonna get more than enough damage.
Yeah, I'm sure.
10.
Yeah. As this rat takes off, or tries to, back through the wall, you bring your sword down and also almost cleave this one in two, but vertically this time instead of horizontally like the last.
Having rat stew tonight.
Oh, it looks like we're 2 for 2 and 2. We're even up now.
Roll perception checks again.
Uh, 10.
13.
You are still feeling the high of killing these last 2 rats, but as you've started to settle down a little, you hear faintly a few more noises coming from beyond this wall.
I hear some. Do I hear any distinguishing?
You can't really tell what it is. It could be the air that's blowing through whatever's on the other side. It could be more rats. You're not really sure, but you know something is there.
I hear something coming through the wall there, but we've done our job. We've killed the rats. Let's go get paid and get out of here. And I kind of start like pulling on the door. Just kidding.
They've got to be coming from somewhere. I think we ought to investigate and see what we can do to help the brewery out.
All right. I follow him towards the wall.
Walk towards the wall.
Okay. As you bend down and peer through, you notice almost immediately on the other side another wall, probably 6 to 8 feet away from you. You also are able to tell that the floor doesn't appear flush with where you're standing, but actually drops 1 to 2 feet if you were to go in.
Well, should we investigate?
I suppose.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in.
All right. You crawl through, and as you enter this hallway, sconces light up as if by magic, illuminating the once dim corridor. Toward one side, you see nothing but a dead end. To the other side, you see a corner that leads to another corridor.
There's something around here.
Interesting. Okay, well, I suppose we better check it out. And then I gesture for him to go ahead.
All right, then. I guess we ought to go. And I lead the way.
I follow.
So I get to the corner.
As you get to the corner, you see on the floor before you a mosaic. A very, very strange. Oh, there's a mic there. A very strange mosaic.
This looks unusual.
And writing on the wall. The writing reads, "Dawn breaks with stirring air, as sun shines down on new day fair. Midday blaze bakes earth and grass, the farmer waits for heat to pass. Evening cool brings water, wine, drink and laughter passing time. Night sees shining, roaring fire, as wood and coals burn on the pyre. But that's not all you see. In the middle of this mosaic is another rat, cleaved as if by Corbin was in the cellar.
It's quite unusual.
Interesting. Dawn breaks with stirring air as the sun shines down on the new fair. All right, well, very, very beautiful writing, I must say. Does this mean anything to you? Do you make heads or tails of this?
I can't say that it does.
Should we carry on down the corridor and see if we can find some more of these rat bastards?
I think that makes sense. I wonder, though, why this rat here seems to have been slain. It certainly wasn't me.
That's a good point. It's not though. It didn't like scurry back here.
I mean, I'm pretty confident the rats I cut were cut in half behind us.
But you know how like a chicken will run around with its head cut off? I think rats can run with their halves cut off.
I mean, maybe. I haven't heard of it before. I think I would have seen it, but I guess we can disregard it for now.
I like the sounds of that.
All right, I'm going to continue down the corridor past the...
As you step onto the first panel, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Both or just him?
Just him, unless you're following right behind him.
15.
Not like in the same footstep as him.
Immediately as he steps on, you see a giant blade swing down from the wall in front of you, barely missing as you step back.
Did you see that?
Oh, I saw that all right. What the hell is this brewmaster playing out now? And then I just say that.
I would bet this is more likely a relic from the days when magics were practiced here.
Oh, there's a booby-trapped hidden tunnel way. You know what they say about a booby-trapped tunnel?
I don't.
There's always something sweet as hell at the end of it.
Well,
I think it's gonna be our sweet as hell thing.
I think so too.
I say, and I kind of rub my hands together. But we do need to figure out how to get past these. How long are the tiles? And did he step on a tile and the tile depressed?
Yeah, so as he stepped onto this first tile, the blade immediately came down. There wasn't a depression necessarily, but
It seemed clear.
And the giant axe or whatever it was that swung past me, that's wherever it swung to. It doesn't seem to have reloaded itself.
right. And these panels are about 5 feet across.
Each.
Okay.
So,
and then
for
which
long
panel
jump.
is the rat on?
The rat is probably right in the center here.
Okay.
Well, this looks a little... Maybe I should reread this little poem we got going on here. Is there a secret here?
It seems like there ought be, but
Sun shines down on the new fair. The farmer waits for him to pass. As coals burn on the pyre. Let's also give the audience a straight down. Wait, that's not straight down. Interesting. So he stepped on this one.
Yes, that's where you begin.
it seems like these tiles represent the different portions of the poem. So dawn breaks with stirring air, tried to break me in half with the axe.
That's true. Shines down on the new day fair. Midday blaze bakes earth I bet it's a fire thing.
I would think.
The farmer waits for the heat to pass. Evening cool brings water, wine, drink, and laughter passing time. Maybe flood.
Perhaps.
Oh, but the last one seems like a fire one too. Should we try to trip it?
Yeah, well, for the second tile, it seems like the farmer waits for heat to pass. Maybe we should wait this one out. I guess activate it and wait back. Why don't we take a step back? Let me put some weight on this tile with my sword from afar.
Where are you placing it?
So I'm stepped back behind even this tile, and I'm placing my sword on this and kind of leaning forward onto it to put some weight down on it.
Onto which portion?
Like the middle of this tile.
The middle of...
This right here.
Oh, so after the axe swung down, you stepped back.
Yeah.
So this would be the first tile. So you're saying your sword reaches this far?
Yeah, I mean, it's about 5. Maybe I have to like come back to just the edge or the beginning of this first tile again. But
So if you step on this again, there might be consequences.
I think he's trying not to step on
I'm
that.
trying not to.
Okay.
Seeing if my sword can reach.
He's seeing
It's a
if
great
his sword can reach the second tile.
Okay. How long is your sword? I mean, it's not the size that matters, but...
He has the thought that.
Check it out.
I may have something in my bag, maybe that I could.
Because if it's 5 feet, then you may be able to reach the very edge of it.
Let me try this. I could try to throw my bedroll over onto it. And I do that. I throw my bedroll and toss it onto that next tile.
Onto the green portion of the second tile.
Yeah.
As you toss, nothing happens.
Well, looks like we're good to go.
All right, lead the way.
I'm not metagaming. I also want to throw my backpack onto the first
Where
tile.
are you stepping onto on this first tile?
We're not stepping onto there. I'm throwing my backpack onto there.
Right.
Just where we stepped, in the middle.
Onto this first one?
Yeah.
As you throw your backpack onto this first tile, the axe swings, chops your backpack in two.
Oh, mother. I should have emptied that. My disguise kit, my loot. Oh.
Well then.
Wait, I just thought of something. Each part of the tile, we have water, earth, sky. I wonder if we walk on a different part.
I think that makes sense. That seems to be one of the best ideas we've had so far.
Can I reach half of my backpack that got chopped?
If you're careful enough, you could probably reach some items that had spilled out from the edge of where you are without touching the floor.
Where did I throw the backpack?
You said you threw it into this green portion
Yeah.
here?
Okay, I actually want to like tiptoe, try to touch on the blue.
As you take a step out onto...
Not a step, like a toe.
As you dip a toe into the sky portion, no axe.
Well, I think this is pretty safe.
All right.
I take a full step onto the sky portion.
As you settle your weight onto the sky, nothing happens.
What would you say the poem "Midday blaze breaks earth and grass. The farmer waits for the heat to pass"?
Well, at first you looked at the dawn breaking and you stepped on the horizon. So I think perhaps midday, the blaze or the sun is what we should be focusing on.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. But it says it bakes earth and grass. Where's this dead rat?
The dead rat is in the middle.
Wait.
Almost where you tossed your bag, but right there.
All right. I am going to. Is there anything else I can check on there? Well, better safe than sorry. Maybe I should throw something else on this old chopping block here.
I think it might be a magical trigger. Sensing life as opposed to weight.
No, because it chopped my
That's
backpack
a
in
good
half.
point.
Unless, and I look at my backpack and say, I'm sorry.
Your backpack lets out a little.
I'm going to trust in what he said. I'm going to do like a full-fledged, committed bunny hop onto the sun.
Okay. As you do, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Bloody hell. That's actually not bad at all. 17.
Although you committed 100% to this hop onto the sun, the blade, as it swings down, you're kind of used to this happening now, and you're able to very quickly step back onto that first panel.
Well, that's not it.
I suppose all we can keep doing is trying.
Well, Blaze bakes, and what if we...
I mean,
How far can I jump, I wonder?
it's a good question. Maybe we could run past before the axes get to us.
Oh,
Though, if I had to guess, I would... Midday Blaze bakes earth and grass. Perhaps it is the grass, like you alluded to a moment ago.
yes. That is a good point. Night sea shining, a roaring fire.
I'm just going to
wood-
step forward and step onto the sky and then onto the grass here.
Okay.
Confidently.
As you step confidently onto the grassy portion of the second panel, nothing happens.
Looks like we got this thing licked. I take a running start, and I do a dive roll for the green pyre part.
You're going to jump from here to here?
From like here to dive roll up. Over
Okay,
there.
roll athletics check.
Ooh. 17. And I want to like roll and like stand up on the other side.
For that, the athletics check will take you the distance, but roll acrobatics to see if you're going to stick this landing.
Nat 20.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as you take a running start and leap the last almost 2 panels, you briefly touch this one as you duck, cover, and roll. The axe comes swinging down directly behind you. And as you stick the landing onto the flame, no more blades swing down.
I slow clap for myself.
Good
And
job.
I kind of look up into the air.
Quite
like
impressive.
People are cheering.
Perhaps you should be at the circus instead of at tavern singing.
Well, I've thought it through. That's for sure. I mean, thought about it.
I'm going to step from the green grass here to the water here.
Okay. Nothing happens as you step.
Are you still standing on the fire? Or were you on the fire or are you on the other side? I was confused by that.
I'm just kind of watching him, like, kind of disappointed at his lack of showmanship, and then I step backwards off the tiles.
Okay.
I'm going to step on the fire and then step past.
Okay.
I get the job done. I'm not pretty like you.
Well, we can't have it all.
As you continue down past the mosaic, you find a door with a very familiar noise that you noticed earlier beyond.
I hear that noise, that nondescript but familiar noise again.
Well, perhaps we should investigate.
I concur. I have a lot of confidence after that dive roll performance.
As you swing open the door, you find yourselves in the center of a small room. In the midst of which is a large stone well, topped with a wooden handle, and the rotten remnants of a heavily frayed rope that descends into the shaft. In the far right corner, the ceiling has collapsed slightly, and a narrow shaft of weak sunlight shines through a small hole. Also around this well are two centipedes, much larger than your average centipede, that take notice as soon as you step through. Roll initiative once more.
3.
19. I add my plus initiative, right?
Yeah. Oh. You're at a 3, Corbin.
Yep.
Oops. You both die immediately. As these two centipedes have much better hearing, or could feel the ground slightly tremble as you enter, they turn immediately and head straight for you both. The first one will come after you as you confidently strode through the door. He's going to bite at you for 6.
That does not hit.
And though he was attuned to the reverberations coming through the stone, he did not place you very well and misses wide to the right. The second one comes after Corbin, and he is going to latch on with a 19.
Hits.
That will be 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
And
Jesus, these creepy crawlers keep getting me.
roll a Constitution saving throw.
You got to be slick like me, and I do a little like Michael Jackson spin.
It's not looking very good. 6 plus some modifier that I'll tell you in a short amount of time.
Is it +8?
7.
Additionally, you'll take bless you, 4 poison damage. And you are now poisoned.
Jesus, that one hurt. I'm tired of this.
That did look painful. Really, truly painful. The lifting.
Corbin.
I say,
Isn't he up first?
oh yeah, I rolled 19.
Right. Yeah, they rolled 20. Yes, Brindle. What are you doing?
I say, fuck it, and I roll. I mean, I cast that same kind of trick with the right behind them thing,
Okay.
and I cast Shatter, so they have to make a Constitution saving throw. And then I guess I roll this damage. 5, 8.
Yeah, they're gonna fail that.
And so that's 11. So 11. So I roll for each, right? Or just one?
I don't remember. I think I'm mixing up the rules with Gloomhaven, which you would roll for each. But yeah, go ahead and roll for each for now.
15. So 11 and 15.
As this spell strikes a few feet behind him, you see it engulf and begin to shrivel them. As they let out a shriek one last time, they are now simply husks.
Well, Corbin, I've got good news and bad news. That spell is badass, but I can no longer cast it. How do you feel about taking a short or long rest?
I think I'll need to find something to cure this damn wound. It looks infected of some sort.
That's a good point. Oh, this is why I'm supposed to have chosen my cure wound thing that I didn't take.
So because you're poisoned, you'll have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh, but he can still add the +6, right, from Bardic?
Yes, if it hits.
Right.
But the casting time is only 10 minutes, so by this point it will have been long expired.
Oh, that's true. It did take us a long time to navigate that mural. So what's the usual, like, when you're a spellcaster? What do you do when you run out of
Cantrips?
Yeah, I've got a couple cannies.
Yeah, it's cantrips or wait till you rest.
All right.
Use some items, maybe.
Get
creative.
I say, we've got this thing licked, and then I hop on the rope and slide down it into the well.
I yell out to him, "You're right down there."
You find yourself at the bottom, not really sure why you just jumped. You're standing waist deep in fetid water.
Oh, well, it's just what I expected, and then I climb my way back up.
I assume there's a crank or something. I'm gonna try and help him get that rope up.
Yeah, between the two of you, you're able to.
I really thought there was going to be a magical cavern under there.
I'm gonna look around as he's getting up from the well. I'm gonna look around the room, see if there's anything else interesting.
Okay, make a perception check.
5. I'm not rolling hot tonight.
Yeah, you don't see much. You see what looks to be an old table. There's some silverware, some plates. Obviously, dust has coated them heavily, but you don't see much else.
I'm also going to look around.
Okay, roll perception.
Nat 20.
Oh my gosh. I think your dice are weighted.
Well, it's the seat. That's what it is.
Yeah, probably. You see roughly the same things. However, you do notice that the plateware on the table, if it was cleaned up and sold to the right merchants, could fetch a pretty penny.
Well, you're going to have to remind me to tell you to give me this, but my backpack's chopped in half. This is actually some pretty fancy, expensive silver plates. And I say, you should put this in your bag.
I'll have to take your word for it. I take them up, blow the dust off them, and put them away in my sack.
My poor backpack.
You see, out in the corridor again another doorway leading to perhaps another area, and no other doors, no windows in this room. You can either head back the way you came, or you can continue probing the depths.
I think we ought to check it out.
I think you're right.
I'm gonna lay on hands myself to restore all my damage.
Okay. And that takes away your poison as well?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't take damage. Okay.
Oh. I can take away my poison at the cost of like 5 HP from my lay on hands pool.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna do.
Alright.
I am going to continue with him into the room.
Okay. As you go deeper into this tower, you come to what might once have been a lab or perhaps a workroom. To the left of you, as soon as you enter, sits a moldering desk, and the shattered remnants of alchemical glassware. while the center of the room is dominated by a set of tall bookcases arranged back to back. All around, however, are scorch marks and signs of countless small fires. And the air is filled with the smell of smoke and burned meat. The wooden furniture is blackened and burned in places, while what may once have been a pile of books has been reduced to ash. Singed traces of what may be webbing hang from the ceiling. As you enter, you feel something crunch beneath your feet. Glancing down, you realize that it's the charred hindquarters of a giant rat.
I think we're headed in the right direction. I'd like to look around and see if I see anything that remains in decent shape and may be valuable.
Okay, make a perception check.
4.
Yes, you don't notice much. You don't notice much else than what was just
All right.
described to you.
Because I just had found that expensive silverware that was sort of whatever, I also want to look around for valuables.
Go ahead.
4, so that's going to be...
Yes, you don't notice much, but you do make your way a little further into the room. And because this is so nice, roll perception again. Do it with disadvantage just in case. You can both do it, but there's a nice little item here.
5. Disadvantage. 19 if it's just regular.
Yeah, 5.
You see not much of anything. Some rubbish lying around. And at the other end of the room, you see another door leading into perhaps another area of this strange tower.
I refuse to leave this room until we found this item. Just kidding. Well,
It seems like something important happened here. Based on the smell, it seems like someone was here more recent than the brewery either knew or cared to let us know they knew.
yeah, there's definitely more than a rat infestation going on here. Should we carry on to this and try to get to the bottom of what's causing all this fire strikes, or should we just wander around aimlessly till we bump into a really cool item?
Well, I'd like to go look at the desk where it looks like the alchemical stuff.
Okay.
Where it looks like the dude was actually working on this stuff. I would like to see if we can figure out where the source of stuff is.
Sure. You don't see much, and a lot of it is broken. However, you do see some missing labels. You see what looks to be a vial of some sort. Looking at the label, you can kind of make out the words in lar, but nothing else. You also see something that says shun of fire Ella, and the rest is cut off. There's nothing remaining in these vials except for a small liquid in the one that says Enlar spilled onto its side.
Looks like some experiments gone wrong.
It sure does. It sure does. And I look up and think.
Roll one more perception check as you're at this desk. Your dice. Throw those dice away.
Switching sets.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, we got silverware, so we can't expect to find anything else here. Cool.
Guess we have to move on.
You notice
Indeed.
the door as you come to this desk. You are a little closer to the door on the other side, and you notice that it is ajar a little bit. It's not closed like the others have been.
This is not a door, it's a jar.
But
Yes.
You hear off in the distance.
I'll repeat, I think you'd do better with the circus.
Well, yeah, there's a reason I'm a struggling bard.
I guess we ought to check it out. I slowly push the jar open.
The door, ajar, creaks open, and you find yourselves in what appears to be a storeroom of sorts. Stand you here at the threshold. The rear wall of this small room is lined with sturdy-looking wooden shelves. Clearly, these were once laden with bottles and glass vials, but over the years, many of these have been reduced to glittering shards of glass on the floor.
I look around and see if I can find anything that looks eye-catching, interesting, valuable, or informative.
You see other small bottles, some tipped over, some shattered, with similar labels. But you also see what looks to be an envelope.
I pick it up and read it.
Although empty, you do see a familiar name on the outside of this envelope. All that says is A period arrow.
Doesn't mean nothing to me.
I have some thoughts as to who this could belong to, or have been meant for.
Roll perception, both of you, in this room.
19.
Yeah, that
Soft
did.
one.
From the corner of your eyes, you notice a flicker of movement from one of the darker corners. Something that could be a rat, but could be something else.
Go check it out.
I follow him.
As you
safely.
get closer and closer to the corner, you see nothing. But you hear scurrying above you.
I look up.
And as you do, roll initiative.
I also cast Bardic Inspiration on him.
I'll allow it.
3.
19.
All right. There on the ceiling, dropping into your midst,
Oh!
Oh, brother.
a spider licked, surprisingly, in flames. Something that is very abnormal, even amongst spiders of this size.
Is that thing on fire?
It sure as hell looks like it.
Brendel, what do you do?
I'm gonna fairy fire that MFer.
Okay.
I fairy fire him, and then
There's no save on that, right?
I don't think so. Any creature? No, I think
Yeah.
it's just in the area.
Okay.
I think that's all I can do.
All right. Which one of you stepped inside first?
Me.
Sorry, Corbin. He's gonna come straight towards you. Smoldering flames on the ground as he approaches. He's gonna lunge and attack.
Oh, there is a dexterity saving throw. I don't know if it's for the whole thing or just for the.
Okay, I'll use this roll for that. It was a 10, so it
Okay.
fails.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
And he's going to attack you for 16.
That hits.
As his bite comes down, grazes you on the shoulder, you will take 6 piercing damage and roll a Constitution saving throw.
2.
I guess it wouldn't matter. You could add +6 to that, but it won't matter, I guess.
Probably not.
Yeah, no. As his bite comes down, you feel the damage from the bite, but you feel this burning sensation as well.
God.
And you take an additional 3 fire damage. Corbin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna swing.
All right.
And you have advantage on your attacks because of fairy fire.
Awesome. So I should hopefully hit. All right.
And you can add +6 to one of
And that
them.
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll your critical damage.
So crits doubles it, but what exactly does it double? Does it double his extra d6?
So you can choose. I don't think it doubles that because I think that's just a modifier,
Okay.
like yours. So like you can either choose to roll twice or
Yeah,
roll
so here's
once
what I'm gonna do.
and double it, and then add the 2 modifiers.
I'm rolling once and doubling it, then adding that modifier, then adding another modifier for something else I'm doing.
Okay.
Some divine smiting his ass. Okay, 14 was the roll. The double the roll there. And then I get a d6 for him. So that's 18. And then I get 2d8 for my divine smite. 23. 24.
As your swing comes down, you, with the power of your deity,
Well,
or
I
perhaps
fight for myself now.
divine power, infuses your swing and shears off a good portion of its body. However, you notice it's still alive, but barely, as it lunges again.
I take my defensive stance as my bonus action.
How much total damage did you do there?
24.
24.
But you rolled a 14 is double.
No,
right?
14 was 7 times 2.
Oh, I see. Okay, I was like, oh, but 24 is all crazy. Okay, so my turn, I'm gonna do something, but I'm not gonna waste spell slots that I don't have, I guess, so I can't. I'm going to hit him with a Vishmock.
Okay.
And I say, "You flaming 8-legged freak!" And though it makes succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Oh, that's gonna be a 5.
All right, so that does not. Message.
So
Okay,
that's,
so
yeah, roll damage.
1.
Don't you have 1 plus your wisdom? What does it say?
You got no modifier or anything?
It must succeed on a wisdom
Your
saving
spell
throw, or
attack?
take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on the next roll.
Okay, 1d4. Yeah.
Yeah.
And disadvantage on the next roll.
Yeah. As it's missing part of its body, bleeding profusely, you see it scrunch up its eyes as if some telepathic wave of pain has pierced it.
With really hurtful words.
Yes. And in spite of all that, he's going to release and then bite back down on Corbin. Or at least...
Oh, and I want to use my bonus action to heal Corbin. I forgot to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, did he take damage?
Yeah, I took a time.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna heal him with. Oh yeah, I can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna hit him with a healing word, and he can take 1d4 plus 4 healing.
All right.
Oh, I guess I'm meant to roll the 1d4.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I rolled a 4, so it does matter. So it's
All right.
max healing 8/8.
There you go.
Got 8.
Nice. Almost full health.
As this is happening, and you feel that familiar rejuvenation flow through
Thank
your
you,
body,
sir.
You're very welcome.
the spider comes
Right,
back
coaches.
for another bite. for 15.
With those with disadvantage?
That was with disadvantage.
Jeez.
I know. And that'll be 7 piercing damage.
Okay, do I need to roll a Constitution saving throw?
Roll another Constitution saving throw.
8.
And that'll be another 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Back to you.
I'm gonna swing.
All right.
I still have advantage because you're fairy fire or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it lasts for 10 minutes.
Nat 20 again.
Finish him off and tell me how you want to do it.
Well, he just bit me. I want to just like slice his head off so his head like kind of falls off of my leg after his body fell over.
Your swing is so fast, so powerful, that
So clean.
you see the spider and then half of its body fall over onto the floor while the legs still stand up. Without it even really realizing that it died, it breathes its last breath.
Oh man, that was quite the swing, but I think it was mostly the insult I did that
Must
really
have
did it in, get him in.
Must have been it.
He was on his last legs after that.
Really had him on the fences, you did.
Yeah. And then you kind of like, I loosened the can and you kind of got the rest of the lid off.
Yeah, that's how it went. It's just like a jar of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Or the jar that we walked through.
As you take a look around the room,
Nice callback. Nice callback.
you see a lot of the same vials. You see a little bit of liquid in each one. You also see a handful of bottles still on the shelves. One labeled Potion of H-E-A, with the rest smudged off. Another one labeled Potion of V, with the rest
Potion of what?
V-I.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna take them both and put them in my bag.
Okay.
Usually I'd say I get half of those, but as we know, I don't have a bag.
Well, you can have them at the tavern, I suppose. If you'd like, you can drink half of each now.
Well, right next to that, there's a potion of restore all your spell slots.
No, I don't think so. No. As you continue to poke around the room, you see something small licking up a pool of who knows what. Seems to be a regular-sized rat, but the vial it's licking from says Potion of Enlargement.
Let's stop that thing right now.
I take my foot and I stomp on the rat.
Its guts spray all over your foot, all over the floor, and some on the wall.
Nice. Why don't we clean this potion up? Seems like it may be the source of the problems.
I concur. Let's give it the old 1-2 tidy-roo, as we call it.
I drop 1 gold coin into the potion of enlargement.
It enlarges into a larger gold coin.
Really?
No. No, it only...
Got an idea.
I take 1 sip.
You're delirious from being poisoned, having been bitten by spiders multiple times. You think you see it enlarge, but as you pick it up, you notice that it's still the same size.
As he's kind of distracted, I say, "Look away!" And I unzip my pants and I try to like dip.
I turn back as I see him kind of like kneeling over. Going for regular again, are you? We all want to be
Only I
average.
could triple the size. I would be just about regular. I do not do that. I'm tempted to drink some of it, but I will not.
Can we clean this up, this potion of enlargement up in any way?
Yeah, there are various rags and pieces of cloth around, or you could use whatever's in your bag to maybe incinerate it, but there are ways to clean it up. And if you choose to, you do spend the next few minutes wiping up whatever residue you see.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him stick whatever body parts he needs in and then wipe it up.
You notice as you do that nothing changes.
I know it was too good to be true.
And you think to yourself, perhaps if I ingested it. But
I say
it's a fleeting thought.
I say there's only a little bit left.
How big is
But
the
it's
spider?
on-
Can I carry the spider out?
It's probably about the size of an average half orc. So roughly 6 feet tall. If it was standing
Any
fully
guess on
upright.
poundage?
Probably at least 200 pounds.
Okay. I'm gonna take the spider head and say, why don't we go collect the reward? I think we might be owed a little more than we originally bargained for.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. And as I'm like kind of wandering off in speech, I look down at my pants one more time to see if the DM made a mistake.
You notice that the DM made no mistake, and it's still the same. But you walk back out. You cross.
As we're in this main room, this room right here, I'm gonna look around again.
Okay. Yes. Look around. Roll perception
Okay.
with your
11 with my what?
new dice.
I say, what are you looking for? And I look with him. Nat 20.
Oh God!
You see much of the same, but as you walk back through, you did roll a 20.
Yeah.
As you walk back through this now familiar room, you see something you didn't spot before. On the shelf next to you, a book that doesn't look charred, but still intact. And as you pick it up, you notice that it's a wizard's spell book.
Oh.
And it contains the spells Detect Magic, Identify an Arcane Lock. So you can add that to your non-existent backpack.
I just look at it and just like, heads up, and throw it back to Corford.
Oh God! What is this? Interesting.
Spell book, you know the drill. And then I
Stick it in my knapsack.
Are you going to make your way out back to the cellar?
Yeah, I'm holding this spider head too. Bringing it with me.
Okay. You make your way across the mural, I assume safely, unless you decide to step on a panel that is unsafe.
No, I'm gonna go whatever it was. I think fire, water, grass, sky.
Okay.
actually, I'm gonna go for one more dive roll.
I went ahead of him.
Do it.
All right.
Try it.
I'm just like, man, I'm so good. I'm thinking that in my head. I dove over this before, killed all this stuff with my insults.
You're extremely confident.
Yeah, I'm taking all the credit for the head he's carrying in my
Yes.
head. And I'm just like, I'm not doing the whole thing. So I do a running leap.
Okay.
And I try to run and leap off the fire spot.
Mhm.
And I go for a full outstretched dive roll over the next three tiles.
Okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
You don't mean acrobatics, right? Just kidding. Okay, well, the dex part was, the saving throw was bad. 2 plus whatever.
All right, this is good. As your overconfidence from breezing through this mural the first time, sticking the landing onto the fire, assaulting this inferno spider with words that you weren't even quite sure it would understand, and finding things that didn't want to be found. You launch into your roll across this mural and trip on your way to the fire, and you do make it into the roll. However, as the axe comes down, it severs your head from its body.
Why? We were done.
And as the head, as Brindle's head rolls back across these murals, it comes to land at Corbin's feet, still smiling that knowing, confident smile that you've come to know over the last few hours.
Oh, God, Brendel. The circus wouldn't have had you either. I take Brendel's head and loot his body.
His body is unfortunately back on the other side of these tiles.
Can I carefully step on the mural the way I know how it goes? Sky,
Yeah.
grass,
Yeah, of course.
water, fire, and then loot his body.
I had 1.9 million gold.
Yes. So Brindle is back here. And yes. We'll say that... Oh, no, he's back there. We'll say that you carefully step your way across. You loot his body. You don't find much. A couple of instruments.
A disguise kit.
A few a little bit of pocket change. You do notice his backpack and the contents still lying on one of the pieces of the mural on the floor. However, upon further inspection, you realize that he was truthful about his upstart status and he had not much to his name. But you are able to scrounge about 20 silver out of between his pockets and his backpack.
I'm gonna put the instruments in my bag as well. Maybe I'll find a bard on the road, make use of these.
Okay.
And I carefully step back across the mural appropriately.
As you come back through the hole into
Holding
the cellar,
both the spider head and Brendel's head.
dragging this giant spider's head and this brave young adventurer Brindle. You make your way out of the cellar and over to the bar top. Oh, my friend. Where's Brenton?
I hold up Brendel's head.
He spills the contents of his stomach, which is a mix of ale and some bread.
Your problems have been solved.
Oh my. Oh,
Sorry
my
that you had
gosh.
to see a gruesome up close, but
This is horrible news. Oh,
here's
what? What did you find down there?
killed the rats, there were centipedes. There was this son of a bitch.
Centipedes?
I hold up the spider head.
Oh dear. He faints.
I slap him a little bit.
I'm sorry. I've never seen a spider this big.
Me neither.
Was there some kind of arcane ritual down there? Was there
Quite,
magic?
quite a few potions left over from presumably the wizards, though I would definitely clean that out much better and inventory what you've got.
I see. Yes.
Now I like you. I like saw what I considered to be a friend of mine die in front of me, cleaning this place out. You better make sure this becomes the best damn brewery in all of Helstra.
We will. I'm sorry to hear about Brendel's loss, but should we be expecting anything down there? You said there were
There's
no more
corpses.
creatures? Oh, yes.
No more live creatures to my knowledge.
I see. Okay.
I think I'll take the 20 gold pieces for Brendel and myself.
Yes, of course. And he moves to behind the bar and takes out a small chest. Let's see, that's 20 gold pieces for just one. No? Yes, here you go. And you can add that to your inventory.
All right. And given the casualties along the way, and I show him the massive spider bites on my leg, the spider head, and Brendel's severed head, I'd like you to make a brew better than your best. Your next brew will be your absolute best.
Yes.
And it'll be called Brendel's and Corbin's Ale.
Yes, I understand. And the next time you pass through Dimesh Hold, please stop by and we will accommodate you. And I promise we will be giving it our all from
Thank
here
you,
on
sir.
out. Here, let me send you with this. And you see him go to the bar top and he writes out a short letter. Give this to Nix at the tavern in Dimesh Hold. He will charge me for whatever room and board you require on your way to Sutton, I believe it was.
That's correct.
But please, I'm in your debt, and this
Thank
is
you,
the
sir.
least that I can do.
Much appreciated. And one piece of advice. Nick's seems great. The tavern seems great. You should work on exporting the beer all over Helstra.
Yes,
Broaden your audience base.
I will. I appreciate the motivation and the help. We would be closing if it weren't for you and Brindle. So thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to see Brendel's and Corbin's Blue wherever my adventures take me, whether I come back through or not.
Yes, I promise this will be the finest brewery in all the land. Well, be safe
Thank
on
you,
your
sir.
journey.
With that, I take my leave.
You travel the 1 to 2 miles back to Dimesh Hold. You are exhausted after your journey. You stumble into the tavern. Nix comes up to you. Oh, aren't you that bloke that,
I slap the
what's that
message
there?
down from the brewery, and I just walk up to my room.
hey, come, I can't read.
Figure it out.
All right, well, that's weird. He gives it to one of his staff members that can make out some letters here and there, but gets the gist. And as you settle in for the night, with many a thought on your mind of Alden's possible presence in this area,
I examining this envelope with Alden's with A and his initials on it. It's a strange day. And a sad one.
a strange day indeed. And as you settle in for the night, you begin to realize, as you drift off to sleep, that you may not make it in time for whatever Alden had in store for you, but you're determined to make it to Sutton, regardless. And with that, you drift off. And that is it.
Good job, DM.
I know that this is unusual for offices and owlbears. We are ending early. Please get some rest. We will do the same and be ready for next week. But we will pick up with our crew from last week as they make their way over to Garangol. And perhaps run into our new adventurer, Corbin. So thank you again for tuning in. We hope to see you next week. This is Offices and Owlbears. We will be back at it next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central. See you then. Good night.